Siddurim are up and running. We're going to start our service on page 6 of our Siddurim, page 6 of our Siddurim with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei El Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bolechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei El Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei El Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei El Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 7 of our Siddurim, we will be lighting the Shabbos candles. Page 7, we'll join together for the responsive reading. Come, let us welcome Shabbat.
May its radiance illuminate our hearts.
Light is the symbol of the divine.
The eternal is my light, my salvation.
Light is the symbol of the divine within us.
The human spirit is the light of the eternal.
Light is the symbol of the divine law.
For the mitzvah is a lamp and a Torah of light.
Light is the symbol of Israel's mission.
I, the eternal, have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvah tav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Blessed are you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who makes our lives holy through divine mitzvot and has commanded us to kindle the Shabbos lamps. May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat joy.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbos holiness.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbos peace.
Amen.
Page 9 of our Siddurim, we join together for Lechai Doidi. Lechai Doidi, Likrakala, Yadada, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nekalela. Lechai Doidi, Likrakala, Yadada, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nekalela. Shamor b'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu Elcham Yuchad, Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad, Lishem Otiferet V'Litzigila. Lechai Doidi Likrakala, Yadada, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela. Lechai Doidi Likrakala, Yadada, 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 B'nei Shabbat, Nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesuka, sof ma'asa b'maksha tehila. Lechai doidi likrakala, yadada, 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 b'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lechai doidi likrakala, yadada, 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 b'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. Hi ori, kiva ore, kumi ori, shir daveri, kavod Adonai, alai negila. Lechai doidi likrakala, yadada, 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 b'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lechai doidi likrakala, yadada, 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 b'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. Now we rise, face the entrance or exit of our building as I cough, and we join together for Boi v'Shalom. Boi v'Shalom, atzeret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'v'tolach, toch emunei am segulam, boi kala, lechai doidi likrakala, yadada, 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 b'nei Shabbat, Nekalela Lechaim Dodi Likrakala Yadada Ben Shabbat Nekalela. Remain standing now for the Hatzi Kaddish found on page 11 of our Sidurims. Yitkadal Yitkadash Shemei Rabba V'yamadi Brach Yirutei V'yamlech Malchutei V'chayechon V'yoimechon V'chayetecho B'Yisrael Ba'agala U'vizman Karib V'yemeru Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba Mivorach Le'olam olam le'almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitgerman V'yitnasei V'yithadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Lekudesha Brechu Le'ela Mikol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Tamiran B'alma V'yemeru Amen. Page 12, we join together for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Page 13. Eternal God, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, not let your glory depart from us. Help us become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-ma'ariv haravim. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who brings on the evening. Page 14. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, amcha havta, Torah mitzvot, hukim u'shpatim, otanu lemadita. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shokbeinu u'kumeinu, natziach b'chukecha, v'nizbach b'divrei toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu borech yeminu v'chem negeh yomam v'layla ve'ahavta al tasir memenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. At the bottom of the page, we join together for the translation of Ahavat Olam. With eternal love, you have loved your people, the house of Israel. Torah and commandments, statutes and judgments you taught us. Therefore, O Eternal our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we would discuss your statutes and rejoice in the words of your Torah and your commandments forever. For they are our lives and they lengthen our days, and we will meditate upon them day and night. May you never remove your love from us, forever and ever. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who loves God's people, Israel. Page 15. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated for the V'ahavta on page 16. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levacha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, v'hayu ha'divarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom ha'levavecha, v'shinatan levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shitecha b'beitecha, u'v'letecha b'derech, u'shachlecha u'kumecha, Ukshartam li'ot al yadecha, ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uktatam al mizuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tizkeru ba'asitem ekol mitzvotai, ve'item kiddushim le'lalechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiתי etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim להיות לכם לאלוהים אני Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem. And next, page 17, we join together for a responsive reading. Eternal truth is that you alone are God, and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exalt in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares.
Let them beat their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation. Let them study war no more.
You shall not hate another in your heart. You shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Let the stranger be in your midst, you as the native, for you were once strangers in the land of Egypt.
In the house of bondage we went forth to freedom, so let all be free to sing with joy.
We join together from Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha Balim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar Kodesh, Norati Lot Osei Felet, Machutecha Rubanecha Bokeyam Lifnei Moshe, Ze Elianu V'Amru, Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed, V'ne'emar Ki Farad Adonai et Yaakov, Ugve'omer Hazak Mimenu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Page 19, we join together for the responsive reading of Hashkimek. Cause us, O eternal our God, to lie down in peace, and to awaken us each morning to life renewed with strength. Spread over us the holy shelter of your peace.
Help us to order our lives by your counsel, and lead us in the paths of righteousness. Be a shield about us, protecting us from hate and war, from pestilence and sorrow.
Curb also within us the inclination to do evil, and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Guard our going out and our coming into life with peace from this time forth and forever.
Blessed are you, O Eternal, whose holy shelter of peace is spread over us, over all God's people of Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Page 20, we join together for Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam. B'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam. Ki shet shamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam. Ubayom hashvi'i shavat v'inafash, shavat v'inafash, shavat v'inafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledoretam berit olam. We now rise for the Amidah prayer found on page 21 of our Sidurims. Adonai sefatati tach ufi agite ilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotzeinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Ha'amerah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chasdei Avot B'imahot, Umebi Geula Lifnei Nechem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshiach Umagim, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Li'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Ata Rab Le'Hoshia, Morid HaTa'al, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Omekayem emunato lishenei afar nichamocha ba'akivurot umidom elach melech mimit omekayem umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shem HaKadosh Doshim B'chol Yom Yahalelu Chasela Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We daven silently until page 29 where we will join together for Oseh Shalom. We join together for Oseh Shalom on page 29 of Sidurians. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. V'yemeru, amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. So who can tell me something about this week's Torah portion that stands out, something that was relevant? I know that the Torah questions went out this week, so it was hard, okay. Why was it hard?
It seems like it was coming from so many different directions. What I got out of it was there's right and wrong that's like administered, and there's right and wrong that's moral, and there's right and wrong in your heart and soul. And there are some things that are allowed by statute, but are not allowed by being moral.
Okay.
And because it was like so many different, like when it was,
So a lot of rules this
it
week.
was a lot of, and
Yes.
Yes.
a lot of it was based on something you did or someone else paid the outcome of it, it seemed to me.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's a lot of laws that we describe in this week's Torah portion. 74. We'll go over them all in our Torah discussion today. It'll be a long one.
My Bible.
Okay. What else?
I read the wrong one.
You could have.
I could have.
Honor our parents, nice.
That's the wrong one?
Should have been for Kitei and
K-I-T-E-I-T, okay.
yeah, you had the right
Okay, I had the right one, that's one about the birds.
Yes,
one.
yes, yes.
Amongst other things. I mean,
And it makes me want to be a vegetarian.
okay. Fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
just about, literally, they talked about the, you know, if you can eat the eggs.
Yes.
The eggs, you've gotta shoo the mother away,
Mhm.
because it's not right for the mother to see her children being killed. But it's pretty awful. And it ended up with, you know, honoring your parents. It's just, I mean, because the worst thing for a parent to do is to witness the end, you know, the death of their child. But you can take the eggs, but just don't let the mother see it. And humans can eat the animals, but,
So it's an ethical component
It's
to
an-
that
yeah.
teaching.
and also another reason that you know, that you shoo them other way is that you don't want to kill the whole species.
Right.
You just want to eat the eggs.
So it's an ethical
I may never
component
eat
to it.
eggs again.
Right, it's like, you know, that part of it, that she's talking about, like, as far as living a long life. So yes, if you were to go and, you know, fish all the fish in the sea, then there wouldn't be any more fish, there wouldn't be, you know, creating more. And so, you know, that's just it, you're not supposed to kill the parent as well, so that they can go on and create more. And that helps us in continuing our lives, and there always being food and things like that. And it was supposed to teach about compassion.
Yes.
Things
There's
like that.
ethical teachings in this week's Torah portion.
Yeah.
So,
Also, you know, when you honor your children, your parent, you'll have a long life.
Amen, amen. All right. So let's talk about this week's Torah portion a little bit more in depth. We've gotten some of the basics that we're covering here, and we're going to now cover a little bit more into diving into the exact details of this week's Torah portion. So this week, as we pointed out, is Parshat Ki Teitzei. It's from the book of Devarim, and it's a section that is specifically rich with mitzvot, ethical teachings, and we're going to explore some of those ethical teachings today in our Torah discussion. So this portion contains 74 of the 613 mitzvot. It's more than any other single parsha of our Torah. And it addresses a diverse array of subjects, including those of war, family life, social responsibilities, and of justice. But at the heart of Parshat Ki Teitzei lies a theme central to Jewish tradition: the notion that even in the most challenging and mundane circumstances, we are called to act with integrity and compassion, Rahmanas. The title of Parshat Ki Teitzei itself, Ki Teitzei L'Milmacha Al Oidecha, when you go out to war against your enemy. That's as our Torah portion of this week starts out. Immediately, this Torah portion of this week directs attention to one of the most morally fraught human experiences, and that is of war. The ethical conduct of war starts off the Torah portion of this week, but it was also something that lasted as a lingering subject from last week's Torah portion. Last week's Torah portion was addressed with the subject of a technique that was popular in antiquity known as slash and burn techniques. They actually had been instrumented in during times of war up until just fairly recently, but specifically what our Torah was prohibiting was the act of chopping down trees that would have been used for the consumption of food, because that would actually starve the resources of opposing militaries and armies. that was actually prohibited in our Torah, and it was described in last week's Torah portion, but the same subjects lingered into this week's Torah portion. Even in a state of war, the very nature of conflict tempts people to lower their moral standards, and the Torah demands that the Jewish people do not. They maintain a high ethical code. How we fight, how we win, how we defend, it matters personally to the Jewish people. For example, the Torah portion of this week begins with the laws surrounding the capture specifically of female prisoners of war. The Torah describes the process that should ensure the dignity of women, and this is remarkably different from a historical context of warfare in the ancient Middle Eastern world. The Torah, through these laws, is teaching us that being in a position of power does not exempt us from moral responsibility. On the contrary, it obligates us to act with even a greater sense of care for the dignity of others, especially those who are most vulnerable. Whether in war or in peace, we're called to uphold justice and compassion. The Parshat Ki Teitzei also addresses our obligation within the family unit. The Torah portion of this week discusses the laws of marriage, divorce, inheritance, and responsibilities that parents have towards their children. For example, is the case of the rebellious son, Ben Surer or Moreh. How many of you are familiar with this concept? What is the concept?
But if you're a rebellious child, you're supposed to take him to the edge of the city and stone him.
Correct. So, boys back there, don't cover your ears. That was a concept introduced in antiquity, but thankfully the rebellious son that never was instrumented into reality. Though the Torah introduces this as a severe punishment, the Talmudic sages teach us that the conditions on which such punishments would be applied are so extreme, so improbable, that they were never carried out. And this teaches us that the Torah's concern is less about the actual punishment, but more about instilling a sense of responsibility in parents to guide their children towards good and moral behavior at even a young age. Beyond the family, Parshat Ki Teitzei expands our responsibility towards the vulnerable members of our society. The laws concerning the treatment of workers, debtors, and the poor underscores the Torah's commitment to social justice. One notable commandment is the requirement to leave behind forgotten sheaves of grain in the field for the orphan, for the widow, and for the stranger in the land. This mitzvah teaches us that when we act unintentionally, we can create opportunities to fulfill the mitzvah of kindness for others. In our modern world, this mitzvah can be understood as a call to be mindful for those who are less fortunate, to ensure that our society provides for those that are most vulnerable. It is a reminder that we should structure our economies, our policies, and personal lives in such a way that the needs of the marginalized are never forgotten. And what ties together the diverse commandments of Parshat Ki Teitzei is the idea that holiness can be found not only in extraordinary acts, but also in the mundane. Whether we are dealing with family matters, the treatment of animals, or the conduct of business, every action has the potential to either elevate or diminish the holiness of our lives. The Torah urges us to act with care, to be mindful of the ripple effect of our actions. Even something as simple as returning a lost object is framed as a holy act in this week's Torah portion, and the commandment to return lost property teaches us that we must always be concerned about the well-being of others. By paying attention to small details, like noticing and returning what is lost, we contribute to a society to build on trust, kindness, and integrity. What does Parshat Ki Teitzei teach us about our own lives? It reminds us that we are called to live with purpose, to infuse our daily actions with ethical and spiritual meaning. Whether we are in positions of power or simply going about our mundane daily business, the Torah talks and calls upon ourselves to be mindful of others and our actions, to always act with integrity and to seek justice. The beauty of Parshat Ki Teitzei is that it presents us with a vision of an ideal society, one in which each person takes responsibility for the well-being of their neighbors, their family, and even the stranger in the land. It teaches us that holiness is not reserved for the synagogue or moments of prayer, but it is found in everyday choices, the choices that we make day to day, how we treat each other, how we conduct ourselves in business, how we care for the vulnerable, and how we maintain relationships. And as we read this week's Torah portion, Parshat Ki Teitzei, the Shabbos, may we be inspired to elevate our own lives and those around us. and we heed the call to build a society based on justice, kindness, and compassion. Rahmanis. And may we remember even the smallest actions have profound spiritual significance. Keni Hiraso, may it be God's will. Amen.
Amen.
So we're going to now turn to the Misha Bera prayer. The Misha Bera prayer is found at the very back of our Sidurians. In just a moment, I'll be asking for members of our community to please share with us the name of loved ones who they would like to add to the Misha Bera list. After the names have been read aloud from our Misha Bera list, once again, I'll be asking for members of our community to share with us the names of loved ones who they would like added to our list. Today's Misha Bera list includes the following names: Miriam Mendel Ben Shira, Nachman Ben Malka, Alan Lewis, Alan Yokelson, Jerry Yokelson, Russ Pineri, Rabbi Alan Darno, Kelly Gristava, Wendy Stranseveri, Jen Frunchel, Ida Lawford, Naomi Ashura of Shoshana Bat Naomi, Guy Gordon, Evelyn North, Emma Libros, Chava Bat Sarah, Trudy Gelfield, Marilyn Gerstein, Barbara Burstein, Barbara Feinberg, Karen Weintrick, Lisa Stein, Marcia Sinkoff, Jeannie Robbins, Mark Rumble, Sharon Lunchner, Shimon Ben Abraham, Ilya Ostrava, Jenny's Tananzo. Are there additional names anyone would like to have added to our Misha Bera list for today?
Eli Oster,
Eli Oster,
Lori Hanson,
Lori Hansen,
Pat and Rudy Maurer.
Pat and Rudy Maurer. Okay.
Regina Pasternak,
Gina Pasternak,
Eric Waxmunsky,
Eric Waxmunsky,
and Harriet Pelcione.
Harriet Pancione. Yes.
Erwin
Ostrega.
Estrega,
Erwin Ostrega,
yes. Lois Flamholtz,
Lois Flamholtz,
Gabriel Levecki,
Gabriel Levecki.
yes.
Any additional names? Yes.
Yvette Zamos,
Yvette Zamos,
Michael Berkovitz.
Michael Berkowitz. Yes. Yes.
Barbara and Alan Steinberg.
Barbara and Alan Steinberg. Any additional names? Okay. The words to the Misha Bera prayer may be found at the very back of our Siddurees. Misha Bera Avotenu Mikor HaBrecha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Bera Imotenu Mikor HaBrecha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We now rise for the Aleinu prayer found on page 30 of our Siddurees. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol la'teit gidula liyotzeh bereshit shelo atzane kigei aratzot velo samanu kimishpakot adama shelo sam kalkenu karnem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'motim lifnei melech malchei hamachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Notei Shamayim V'Yoser Haaretz U'Moshev Yekaro B'Shamayim Mima'al U'Shchinatu Zo B'Govei Merodmim Hu Eloheinu Ein Od Emet Malkeinu Efes Zulato Kakatu v'torato v'yadata hayom v'hoshevota el abevecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim mima'al v'yal ha'aretz mitachod ein od, page 31. We therefore hope in you, O eternal our God, soon to behold the splendor of your might. Then will false gods vanish from the earth, and the idols will be utterly cut off to heal the world through the sovereignty of the Almighty. Then will all acclaim you as their God, and forsaking evil turn to you alone. Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend, and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you, O eternal our God, let them humble themselves to your glorious name, let them give honor. Let all accept the yoke of your dominion, that you may rule over them soon and forever. For the dominion is yours, and you will rule in glory, as it is written, the eternal will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echod, u'shemo echod. Remain standing now for the mourner's cottage found on page 33 of our Siddurim. In just a moment, I'll be reciting names from our Yort Site list. After the Yort Site list has been read aloud, I'll be reciting names of our community members who have recently passed. After the names of both lists have been read aloud, if you are observing a Yort Site or in the period of Shoshim, please share with our community the name of your loved one, so that we as one community may pray for the elevation of their neshama to Shamayim above. Today's Yort Site includes the following names: Esther Kurland, David Harris, Frederick Sheff, Ann Sadowski, Rita Ragosa, Herbert Mann, Carrie Fisher, Gladys Richmond Wagman, Rose Finkel, Anna Cohen, Jeannie Rychek, Sarah Zide, Julius Samotin, Michael Cohen, George Popper, Sidney Wagman. Recently passed from our community are the following names: Len Smolin, Stephen Carroll Lichtenstein, Stephen Paulin, Zangel Ben Motel, Beshifra, Ruth Lewis, Erwin Schwob, Shlomo Lev Ben Malka, Bruce Estrin, Francis Saywitz, Phil Miller, Brian Leibowitz, Cantor Mary Barton Barron, Hirsch Poland. Are there any additional names anyone is observing a Yort Site for here today or in the period of Shoshim?
Mark Schimmel.
Mark Schimmel,
Muriel Sheffrin,
Muriel Sheffrin,
Gloria Tucker,
Gloria Tucker,
Tom Moore.
Tom Moore.
That's it.
That's it, thank you.
Okay. The words to the mourner's cottage can be found on page 33 of our Siddurim. Yitkadal Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Zivrach Yiritzei V'yamlich Machutei, Be'chayechon V'yoymechon U'chayei T'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'igala Bizman Karim V'imru Amen, Yahei Shmei Rabbah Mivarach L'olam Olamei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitzba'ar V'yitzraman V'yitnasei, V'yitzadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei T'kudeshah Barechu, La'ela Mikol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Damiran V'alma V'imru Amen, Yahei Shlama Rabba Min Shamaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen, Oseh Sholom Min Ramah, V'yaseh Sholom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. For the memories that we hold near and dear in our hearts, may they remain within us always. Let us say, Amen. You may be seated. We now have an opportunity for our announcements.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good job.
Saturday, September 14th, Shabbat morning Torah study, 10 o'clock a.m., worship 10:30 a.m. If you are interested in joining the choir for the high holidays, information is on the weekly email. Hebrew School tuition free this year, more information on weekly email. High holiday information on weekly email. Sukkot Shabbat under the stars, service and dinner October 18th. More information on weekly email, and you can register right there. Blood drive, Sunday, November 3rd. Hebrew School, September 18th. Shukla, I can't do that.
Sleep well.
I know, every week I got
Mm,
that.
it's okay.
September 28th. Thank you.
you. Liz, would you like to talk about the program that you're having on the 8th?
Yes. Okay. On October 8th, AAU.
My birthday, by the way.
Yeah,
My birthday.
At night at 7 o'clock p.m. on Zoom, AAUW of New Jersey is having a program called Fighting Hate. I have been asked to participate in it to talk about my father, who's a Holocaust survivor. I'm also going to be talking about what happened to the temple when we had the graffiti on the wall, on the door, and a couple of other things, including my daughter, who is part of the gay community. Other people, there's going to be a minister, and there's going to be a Muslim woman talking about the hate that she's felt, and the Attorney General of New Jersey is going to introduce the program. You can register for this program by going to AAUW New Jersey website and register. We'll probably try to get something on the email here. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, a big announcement from last week. Some of you were here for it, some of you not. But last week, what was the big announcement? We had a speech. I'll share it with anyone afterwards. What was it? Something on Friday happened. The bris, including the baby naming. So those of you who aren't familiar, the name is Zachary Stephen Poland, Zangwil Hirsch after my father, and also Hirsch Poland. So, any other announcements? Anything else that anyone would like to have added for today? I will say, the children in the back have been absolutely pristine. And Ben Sorare, when we got to that part where we were talking about the rebellious son, I was thinking, we just need to pass through this section because this is working perfect. So they're fantastic tonight. So.
Okay.
All right, we're going to turn. Yes, go ahead.
An announcement.
Yes.
Last Saturday was my grandson's bar mitzvah.
Mazel tov.
And he did
I
a
spoke too soon.
fabulous job.
I spoke too soon.
Yes. Oh, they ran out, yes.
Yeah, I think they're fine. They're fine.
Okay.
Yes. Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
I called you right before I thought you were coming here. So, but.
As we were walking into the sanctuary.
Well, that's a good sign. The rabbi calls you as you walked into the sanctuary. So
Yes, it was.
he did well. So
Thank
you knew he had the ruach with him. So
Exactly.
all right, we're going to turn now to page 34 for Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'et Nasa Le'Hevzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra B'Yachad Rei Ki Lo Takol Levado Yimoch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh V'Tzif Ara Ve'hu Echad V'Ein Sheni Le'am Shilo Le'achbira B'li Reshit B'li Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'os Ve'hamizra Ve'hu Eli Ve'chaya Goali Ve'tzor Hevli Ve'yesara Ve'hu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi Be'yom Ekra Bi'ado Akid Ruchi Bi'eti Shan Bi'aira Bi'im Ruchi Gebiati Adonai Li Velo Ira. Good Shabbos everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.